First find out what scent you're trying to make. Is it going to be sweet? Is it going to be musty? Is it musky? You know, musty, but that's not the musty that you're thinking about. I know you like musty. Who wants to be No, that's not what we're talking about. Hello, everyone. My name is Nikki, and I got to tell you, I love smelling good. I don't know about you, but me, must every day. It sets your mood. It sets the whole vibe. Like when you walk by, people can tell like, oh, they got it together. So I've ran into so many issues of going to the big guys, you know, at the Macy's counter, all different types. And trust me, I'm a big fan. So much so that I wanted to not only find out the secrets of how they made everything, but I wanted to do it myself. And I don't know about you, but paying like a car payment for, you know, perfume, and I love perfume. I one, I did, you know, that's a big price tag, even if you can afford it. And two, I'm so curious. If you're new to my channel, I'm Nikki, better known as Nikki Nuvora. I have 3 certifications, a biotech, farm tech, and I'm a certified medical coder. And with all of those skills, I decided to put it to the test, do some deep research, find out how they were making these. It didn't smell like the regular fragrance oil and all this stuff. I was like, something's missing. I did my research so you wouldn't have to. On my channel, not only, let me tell you a little bit about myself also. I run Nuvora Gold. It is my beauty brand and my fragrance brand. It's all encompassing, made by Black women, you know, for Black women. Our hair, our nails, all of that things, you know, all of those things are so important to me. The way we smell, you know, not only I wanted to do this for women of all different melanation, okay, but I wanted something that the market was missing, that, you know, was missing, that wasn't doing it for me. So I needed a leave-in conditioner that made my hair soft when it was my wash day. I needed a detangler, so I made my own. I'm here in my kitchen for a reason, because this is basically my laboratory also. I do have I do have an office that I'm going to take you guys on. Show you my whole thing, how I run my small business. Everything is going to be here with me. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following me. Matter of fact, let's be friends. So now that we're friends, today's video is going to be, so every day I'm going to do something, make something, show you something. So this is on Nuvora Gold, but I also have a second YouTube channel, Nikki Nuvora, and it's more about what I do in my small business as far as the kind of the background stuff, packing labels, shipping them, going for walks, getting back to center, all of that good stuff. You're going to see me out and about, how I do things, the software that I use, the AI that I use to help me, all of those things. So make sure you subscribe to Nikki Nuvora as well. But today, we are going to make some perfume, guys. So I do have my own perfume brand. Make sure you can check me out at nuvoragold.store. But today we are going to make one of my signature scents. So making pure perfume wasn't easy to learn. I got to tell you, it's, you know, you got a bunch of tutorials on YouTube. You got all the research and stuff. But I binged so much content on the bigger guys, you know who they are. And not only am I a big fan, but I wanted to find out the secrets. And the secrets is understanding, as far as fragrances, base notes, middle notes, top notes, the combination of them, how they smell, where, you know, how they blend together, how you have to blend them together at a certain percentage rate, how to get that percentage. Of course, I love math from my biotech and from my farm tech. Now, I got to tell you, all of these certifications are still active. It's not like I used to do this back in the day. No, I'm active and I'm bringing all that to you. So with the math and with the understanding of the different scents, the different notes and all that, I had to decide like, okay, what are we going to do? Hold on, guys. Okay. So I wanted to understand on a molecular level. So what I found out, just getting into it, what I found out is that it's a lot of chemistry, hormones, all of the things, chemistry. It is amazing, right? So I found out that the chemical bonds, the chemical combinations, that is the key. So I broke it all down and I'm going to explain to you a little bit. I wanted to explain to you a little bit about that before we got into the nitty and gritty of stuff. So I'm going to make a stock bottle of my perfume. Usually when I'm in full production, I have, a mask, I have my hair covered, all of the things, but I am going to wear gloves, but I just wanted to kind of show you how the basis of how I go about it and some of the ingredients that I use as well. So we're going to get into that in this video. So make sure you are part of the Nuvora clan. All right, guys, I'm going to give you the basics of what I'm doing here. So when you're making perfume, and I'm going to make all my products basically on this channel. So what you want to do is first find out what scent you're trying to make. Is it going to be sweet? Is it going to be musty? Is it musky? Musty, but that's not the musty that you're thinking about. I know you like musty. Who wants to be? No, that's not what we're talking about. Okay. You have to have different layers to build up to that final product. Like a top note doesn't really last long. It smells amazing. That's kind of what the first thing you smell and kind of hits you. But a top note like a fruity or a citrus, sometimes they don't last long. You do have middle notes that kind of embody sort of a fruitiness or sweetness. I love a sweet, kind of a middle note. I use that a lot in all of my fragrances, except for cologne. I do have one that's called Black Goat. It's amazing. And that is an amazing scent. I made some for my man. He wears it. He loves it. Yes. So there definitely is a science to it. I have my notes here if you see me looking. So I do have my notes, all of my calculations. I didn't want this to be forever, but I can do a separate video on fragrance calculations. If you want to, I got you. Don't you worry. Make sure you leave a comment also if that's something that you want to see. Anyway, let's get into a little bit about the setup that I have here. So I basically have a laboratory because, like I said, it's a lot like chemistry. I got the knowledge. I'm here to give it to you. What you're going to see here is you got to have some basic stuff if this is a route that you want to go down. Of course, you have to have the premium scent molecules. They are not fragrance oils. They're not fragrance oils, okay? They're not. But you source, now I source from different places. It all depends on what they have, what I'm specifically looking for, and how quick I need it. Depends on what the orders are doing. But there's some that I basically just have to have and love. And then there's others. So these fragrance molecules have chemical names because that's basically what they are. Some are natural, some are synthetic, but all the major fragrance brands that you know and love use a combination usually of both. It just depends, but a combination just to get that right, it depends on what the outcome they're looking for, really matters. So, and synthetic means some are made in the lab, but as you can see, the lab is not a scary place, when you're combining and figuring out things, or even coming to, maybe diagnosing something or whatever. Labs are your friend. I was a lab rat a long time. Mixing medications, all the things in the hood, labs, gear, there you go. But so it's not always a bad thing. But if you want to make real perfume like the major players, this is what you're going to need. You're going to need aroma molecules in order to make it happen. But like I said, it's a mixture of natural and synthetic. So I have some key ones that I love. Me personally, I like a sweet smell with kind of a caramel finish, and I wanted them to be able to last long, smell amazing, set the mood. So I have a plethora, trust me. So my quality that you're getting is, is special. And just side note, every purchase that you make from my store, NuvoraGold.store, you get a free sample. So you'll get free sample. If you buy a fragrance, you'll get free samples of the other fragrances so you can try out for yourself. So if you buy like the leave-in curl cream, you get a body butter sample. I love giving stuff away, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, I am going to get into the lab. So I'm going to flip my camera around and we're going to get into it. Let's go. All right, guys, let's get into it. So what I'm going to do is put on some gloves. Even though this is just a batch, we are going to, safety first. Also, I want to tell you that there is a limit on the amount you can use on certain, ones. Certain ones of these do have a restriction. It actually is called, I'm sorry, what is this? Like initials. It is the IFRA standard. So for instance, before, just a little information before we get going, where's the camera there? There we go. So for this one, this is called Galaxolide 50% in IPM. So it is diluted to 50%, which is great. But for the pure one of this, it is a limit to the amount. I have the ratios, kind of put down, but in this formulation that I'm using, I am not going over that specific amount. Also, there's another one that you have to check the limits. Like, you can't just willy-nilly make certain fragrances. This is the ISO E Super. You're going to find this everywhere in a lot of scents that you're used to and love. So I use it as well. It has a great smell. It's kind of used everywhere. Also, the other ones, there's a lot. Those are the main two that I'm using right here. There are other ones, like for instance, I do have it's Smudge, because this is a stock bottle, 10%, but this dihydromarcinol, that is actually super strong, guys. You cannot use this. Some fragrances, you cannot use them in their pure form, 100%, or neat, as they're called. You have to dilute them. So this is my 10%, even though you can't tell, of this version. So this, which a lot of the big guys use as well, is called DPG. I'm going to show you what DPG is real quick. And DPG is actually basically you use it to dilute. So if you are, say, basically it kind of dilutes it before you put it into the actual alcohol. So, and it can't be regular alcohol, it has to be perfumer's alcohol. So this is dipropylene glycol, which kind of dilutes it, but for some things you actually have to use it, because, like, for instance, this ethyl maltol crystals, look at that. Can you see that? Can't really see it, but it's really crystallized. And sugar, and it smells just like, not just like sugar, but it's, well, maltol. If you know anything about that, you know that that means kind of sweet crystals, sugar. So these are some of the ones that you will have to dilute. But like I said, we can get into that. Like I said, I'm going to have all types of things on this channel that I make, but let's get into the one that we're making today. So there's key things you're also going to need, which is you're going to need a hot plate, preferably one that gets warm. This one I actually bought, you'd be surprised, I bought this from actually Amazon. Let me just flip that over so you can see it. Power, temperature, heat. And but you're going to need one that actually heats up. Most of them you don't need to heat, but some of them, like this maltol in this crystallized form, you do need one that heats, or you can use a water bath if you don't want to get this. And then with the stirrer, if you're a little familiar with how labs work, you will need that to stir. But I already have some of that actually at 10%, but I will actually make some more of that. But right now I already have it. So what we're going to do, you're also going to need, just giving you the basics at this point, what you're going to need is also a scale. So as you can see there, you're going to need a scale. Oops. That's a little messy. But see, that's why I wear gloves. You always want to have your area sanitized before you start working. This is a bottle of 90% alcohol. So anything that I use, any of my beakers, anything like that, that's what I keep here. Also, you're going to need pipettes. Pipettes are the staple for any biotech. And then you're going to need, I'm sure you've seen these at any perfume counter, that allows you to smell your combinations as you're working. And you can only use one pipette at a time, and then you have to throw it away because you don't want to contaminate your scents. That is a no-no. So you use a pipette and then you toss it. That's why you get so many. And then what I do, as you've seen here, this is my stock, my dilution of my individual ingredients. Some already come that you don't need to dilute it, so you really have to be careful and do your research on that. But this is a 4 ounce. I believe this is 4 ounce. No, it's 2 ounce. 2 ounce. Ooh. Yeah, sorry. 2 ounce bottle that I use as a stock bottle. I also try different scents and put them in here as, you know, because there's a maturation period for all perfumes. Well, the good perfumers know, like myself, that you have to let it mix and blend when you mix it with the alcohol for a while so it can get those blends in. So it lessens the alcohol smell, of course, but then you also will, you know, be able to smell the full scent. It gets purely combined. So you want to make sure that you do that. Some do 24, some do 48, some do a week. It just all depends on your preference and also your production, how quickly you want to wear it, different things like that. So there's a lot, but I am here to teach you the ropes. Okay, guys? So let's get into it. So what I'm going to do is make, oh, I already had that on. So I'm going to go ahead and show you, actually giving the sauce away, but like I said, I don't gatekeep on my channel. Anything you want to know, I can help you with. So I do have my formulations. Now I'm not going to show you all my formulations, but I will show you how I do it. And I will show you some of the formulations that you can actually purchase right from my site if you're interested in that. And if you want me to create something special for you, that's something that I do that a lot of people won't do. I'll tell you can actually have me create you a scent. Isn't that amazing? So make sure you reach out to me, DM me, I'm Nikki Nuvora on all social media. You can find me there, Nuvora Gold, or you can just visit me at my website. All right, so we're gonna make the Rose Dorée. First thing we're gonna do is we have to measure out our raw ingredients. So my first ingredient actually is, let me get it here for you. So I'm going to move the ones I'm not using out of the way so it won't be kind of confusing. All right. So the first one we're going to use, Hope you can see. The lighting isn't the best. Let me try to get better lighting for you. Let's try to get a little better lighting. All right, I think that may have helped a bit. What do you guys think? A little bit? Okay. So, all right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this off. So what I use, we're going to tear that to make it 0, right? And what I'm going to do is mix my scents first. And then you you add that to your alcohol, and then you let it rest. You let it maturate. So I'm going to use galaxolide, and I'm going to use 0.75 grams of it. So it is calculated in grams. Now, this 0.75, sorry. Now, you won't be able to get to exactly what you, sometimes it's kind of hard to get it right on the dot. 0.75 is what I'm trying to get here. Okay. Now, remember I said that you can only use a pipette once? That's what I mean. You with me? Okay. Galaxolide, right? So you're getting to see actually what is in my concentration. So, and my concentration actually is going to be higher than what you might find anywhere. I like my scents to be stronger because they last longer and it makes a real impact. I believe the given not only what I like, but also my customers, the maximum that they can get for their money. And of course, I charge less than the big guys, so it can be affordable to everybody. Now, what I'm going to do, it's a little bit over, but that's fine. So I'm also going to, so it's time to add my second ingredient. So I'm going to tear it because this is all going into one. I'm actually going to blend it. So it's all going into one. So now I'm going to do some ISO super. And like I said, my concentration is, I already did my math beforehand, but if you're interested in the math, I can teach you that as well. So I am going to do the 0.75 also of this. So here we go. Like I said, you do need a scale that goes down to the micrograms. This actually is in grams because I am making quite a bit. Well, not quite a bit. I'm actually making a stock bottle that will maturate. And if it smells amazing, I can actually bottle it. 7.5. It's a little over, but like I said, a little over is okay. You want to try to stay close as possible, but sometimes a little extra drip comes out. So see, that was the ISO super, right? My next ingredient, of course, I do all of my calculations beforehand. That's what you want to do. You don't want to just kind of do it on the fly unless you're truly experimenting, but that's really not what you want to kind of do, right? So the next one is going to be vanilla. This is a powdery sort of one, and we're going to go with the 0.25 of this one. This is considered a base note, but it's very nice, very sweet. So 250 is where I was going, but it's a little, like I said, I'd rather have more than less. It's not much more, but it's less. Now, my next one Now, as you can see, I don't just put one or two. When you get something from me, it's going to have multiple layers to it, which makes it just so much better. Next one is benzoyl propionate. Okay, that one. Benzoyl propionate. All right, we're going to put, for this, we're going to put 2.25. So a little more of this. This one's going to be, this one is actually already mixed, so it doesn't need dilution. So we're going to put more of this in there. Actually, I'm sorry, I didn't tear it out. So you always got to tear before you can do these individual jars, I guess, but that wouldn't actually make sense. So, so the benzoyl propionate, don't worry, all of this is sprayed down. This mat, it looks fancy, but it's totally fine. So we're going to put 2. So this one, I want 2 grams. So I want more of this one. Now, the way that I come up with my calculations is basically, well, how much I want of each one is basically knowing, I've basically smelled all of them separately and learned what they smell like, what they do, how they blend with others. So that's how I know what goes with what. But it's really a talent. It really is just an art form. So this is what I want. This is a little less than the 2.5, but because I want a little, oh, that was a close one. Ooh, you don't want to spill these. I got to tell you guys, this is expensive. Okay. These are expensive. Don't be fooled. These chemicals, these, I'm sorry, technically I say chemicals because I'm a biotech and farm tech and, medical coder, but some of them are derived from natural ingredients, but they're expensive. Please do not knock it over. You will be so upset about this. Now, benzoin cyan. Okay, benzoin cyan, and I'll do a separate video about the smell and all of that. But all you got to do if you want to smell any of these that I am creating, just reach out to me. Like I said, every purchase comes with a free samples of all of the fragrances. That's if you want to smell everything. There you go. So we're going to add some benzoin cyan. This is kind of a slightly sweet, but not too much. But woody also kind of it's kind of hard to explain. That's why I encourage you to get your own. But this is a dilution of 50% already, and this is very thick. I don't even know if I can even get this out, to be honest. I might have to. There's a little top that's on it that allows you to kind of siphon it, but this is super. Actually, it's solid. So you know what? We're not going to put that in. We are going to swap that out. And the amazing thing about creating your own scents is that you can swipe it out. So what I do is I just make a note that I'm swiping it out, and I actually update my recipe as I go. But I also know a similar one that could replace that, which is amazing, right? And one that I can get that will replace that similarly is my gamma calolactone. See, so studying and knowing your scents makes all the difference. So I'm gonna use that instead of the cyan. And so we're going to tear it out. And we are going to do just a little bit, the 0.375 of it. Okay. Oh, went off on me. Oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh, and it went off. Sorry, guys. Let's do it again. Let's tear it out. Okay. 0.375. Just something slight. We just want a little bit, but it gives it so much depth. Now, when you're pipetting, you want to make sure that you do not touch your pipette. Oh, look at that. Almost didn't toss it. Yeah, almost didn't toss it. Very important that you toss, guys. Do not mix. All right, so we got where we're going there. So I got to make sure I tear, not turn off. Next one, you say you go through pipettes a lot. Now we're going to add our strawberry. Now I got to tell you, it says Rose Dorée, but it actually doesn't smell like roses. That is the kicker on that. Because you know that, like I said, that is the freedom you have, and also I can make it for you. The thing is, I have stockpiled a lot of fragrances, so you won't, because it gets pretty expensive, that you won't have to, and then you can try out those combinations from me making them for you. I'm sorry, this is going to be 3.75 as well. But I think I might bump it to 4 because I love this scent. I'll show you what it is in just a sec. Yeah. So that's the thing. You can do a little bit less or more. It is amazing. But I'm still within the range on this. And this is strawberry. Here we go. It has such a nice, if you could smell this, you'd be in love. All right. So that is actually going to complete our the combo. Now, what you always want to have, let me just grab here. Hold on. Where is, okay, I can't find it. 1 second, guys. Okay. So there's 2 ways that you can mix. When I'm mixing something to dilute, then you use, so what I'm going to do, I can go ahead and turn this off now. What I'm going to do is stir it to really get that blend going. Let them merge with each other. Amazing. Glass is what I prefer you use because it's easy to clean and it doesn't leave remnants of the previous mix. So plastic does actually. So what we're going to do, just put that back for now. Oh, it's heavenly. It is so heavenly, but you really can't tell. Okay, we'll just wipe that off. Put that to the side here. It smells amazing, guys. So what you can do is, this is where this comes in. So it's overpowering, so you can't just put your nose to it and smell it. You have to put this in there. Okay. Wave it just like you see at the counter. Okay, just like you see at the counter. Okay, that is amazing stuff right there. Okay. Amazing. Okay. With that. You give it time to kind of dissipate. Now remember, this is not alcohol in it. Oh, guys, can you smell that? Oh, if you could smell it. Like I said, it's a winner. This is the Rose Dorée that I just made. It is insane. All right, guys. So what I do, just gonna wrap it up here to show you what I'm doing here. This is Perfumer's alcohol. It's a little rugged, but like I said, I'll be working. I'll be working. This is what I'm going to use. Okay. So what I do, I made this specifically for a 1 ounce bottle. So these calculations are for 1 ounce. Of course, if I wanted to make a larger, I just got my, okay. So if, say for instance, if I wanted to make 2 ounces or 4 ounces or whatever it is, I would just double, triple, whatever the concentration is here, and then make my stock bottle. That's usually how I do it, because in the stock bottle, it gets time to maturate. And also you want to make sure it is in an amber bottle when it is maturating. Also, when I distribute in the darker bottles for a reason, because it keeps the scent safe and all that. I might upgrade to a fancier bottle, but it's a reason. So all of my scents come in this bottle for now, but that might change, but they still will have some sort of protectant unless the glass is really thick and can give that my finished product some protection. But clear isn't bad either. It looks really pretty, but I want to make sure that you get the maximum out of yours. So this is my 1 ounce bottle that my finished product goes in. I care. I'm telling you, I get so many compliments on my scent. It's insane. And if you think I'm good at this, wait till you see the other stuff that I make also. But today we're doing perfume. Tomorrow we might do something else. Anyway, what I do is pour it in here. So you want to use glass and stainless steel. So these are the measuring ones that I use. And what I want to do is I'm going to make a stock bottle. So what you can do, this is what I do. Okay. Yeah, pretty sure you can see that. What I do, the finished product, and I see, isn't this cute? This little teeny, it's so cute. So of course, these are all, like I said, before I start, you got to disinfect everything, guys, with alcohol, no other cleaning agent. Okay. So I'm going to pour this in here. See how it's small enough? Actually, let's use the smaller one. So these come in a smaller, and you want to use stainless steel for everything, guys. So I'm going to pour that in there, right? Now, like I said, you don't want to waste anything, right? You don't want to waste anything. So, but what you need to do, I know there's some left in there, right? You got to be real careful in this part, because you don't want to knock your finished product over. You make sure, just like in the lab, just like in pharmacy, when I'm in the IV room, everything needs to be separated 6 inches from that, and no contamination, right? It is important. So, and I know it's kind of busting through, but we're having fun. But I would change my glove. I have gloves, a box of gloves set on the side. You don't see those now, but super important. Anyway, what we need to do now is get since I'm only making the 1 ounce, we are going to add our alcohol. I'm going to put this here for now because there's some good stuff still in here. What I'm going to do, and this is why you need glass beakers. I'm going to turn this back on. Okay. We're going to tear it out. So it's just the 0. Okay. Now there is a little bit of fluid kind of, say for instance, we're QSing to 30, right? So QSing kind of means that you're pouring the liquid up to the 30 ml amount. So what I could have done is left it in here and QS that to 10 ml and then poured it in. That's usually what I actually do. And then I pour 20 mils in, right? But since we're just practicing, and well, actually, this is a real one that I'll probably wear myself and maybe even use for some free samples. That'd be pretty awesome, right? But the basics of what I just did is the same. So we're going to tear it out. We don't necessarily have to measure this, actually, because this is in grams. But what you can do You see how that your scale should change? That actually is ounces now. See that? So you can, kind of do it that way. So what I'm going to do is go ounces, right? And do a little under, I would say that would be about a mil. Like I said, this is going to be for my personal use and so on. But actually, what I can do, because I'm just going to eyeball it. As you can see, this is 30 mils on here, so you don't have to get too precise. You can just use that for the grams. That's what I usually use it for. But for mils, you can just kind of go to your meniscus line here for your 30 mil, right? And it looks like it's sideways, but we're just at about 30. But like I said, this batch is for me to wear, and also I'm going to use it for free samples. But when I'm actually making it for shipment, for orders, I'm a little more precise. So that is about 30 mil. It's a teeny tad bit under the 30 mil. That's where I want it, because you want to factor in that mils for the thing. So as you see, I poured that into here. Now we still got a little goodness. Ooh, see, I gotta be careful. Listen to your advice. What I'm doing is rinsing. Okay. As you can see, I just rinsed it. Of course, all your utensils, when you're done, you don't want to contaminate from one batch to the other. But, so I am going to, let me get the top. So what I'm doing is I'll put the top on. And what I want to do is give it a mix. Right? And that is going to be majorly good. OMG. That is going to be majorly good. Ooh, that's going to be so good. So I'm giving it a little mix, not too much, because the maturation period will do its thing. Then what you want to do is label it. Ooh, sorry, my cat is catting. So what you want to do is label it. And where's my label? Somewhere. There we go. So for my own personal kind of thing, as you can see, I mark it. I also mark which batch it is, but this technically isn't a batch, but you always want to do that. So this is, ooh, my pen. Oh, my pen is not working. So, Rose Dorée. There we go. And we did it, guys. Now I'm going to put on here sample. Because once that's nice, in about 3 days, maybe 4 days, it is going to smell amazing, guys. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on another amazing What Are We Gonna Make Today moment. Make sure that you are subscribed, leaving comments. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me the smells that you like. Tell me the brands you like and which ones you want me to try to repeat. Also, I make all different types of products on this channel. My hair cream, my body butters, and my body butters aren't just oil and butter. I use water in mine. I found a little trick to that makes it still thick and still full coverage, but it doesn't sit on the skin. It soaks in, it's nourishing. I look at all of my products you know, like good for the mind, good for the self-esteem, and good for the body. I use animal-free products in all my in everything that I make. I actually donate $1 from each sale to the Fairfax County Animal Shelter, where I got my beautiful cat Malja. Make sure you check out Malja Chronicles. That's her channel. So, and of course, Nikki Nuvora, where I do blogs, I do walk with me's, I do business advice, all of that stuff. I love you guys so much. Now that we're friends, love you guys. Make sure you stick around for the next one. Bye.